And today, what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of go over some time management techniques and really what I've come to develop as far as my calendar goes. Okay. And everybody's got a calendar. People use Outlook, they use Google Calendars. But the thing for me is I created a calendar that is going to help you originate and stay on track and have enough hours originating while also not dropping the ball on all the other things. So what I wanted to do is bring this up, and I'll make this available to everybody on the website as well. Feel free to use it how you want. What I've done is I've created on this page here a blank calendar. Okay, and it just shows, Monday through Friday, starting at, 8 a.m. and it goes all the way down to 6 p.m. And as you can see, everything's blank right now. You got some yellow, orangish colors, and then you got a green color. And what I've done is I've segmented it into sections of what you're going to do during those time periods. Now, I've gotten really granular because that's just kind of how my mind works. I like to know exactly what I'm doing between this hour and this hour so I can really stay on track. And it also helps me plan my week, and it helps me stay consistent with all the other stuff that we're doing. So as you start looking at this, it's pretty simple. You just take Monday, you pick your date. Tuesday happens to be the third in this month that I did. And I've essentially got orange time, right? Or yellow time, whatever you want to call it. Basically, this is non-business building, non-lead generating activities. I'm not selling from 9:30 to 10 a.m. But from 10 to 11, I am doing something that is a direct origination activity. Something that's going to make me money will be done between 10 and 11 a.m. And as you can see, it just kind of continues going down, right? I end my day on Mondays from 2 to 5 o'clock of nothing but originating. But as you can see, I've got a few different sections. What that is for is some of this might be calling realtors to set up meetings for later in the week. Some of this might be actually directly talking with clients or having in the office meetings. But you got to have this flexibility because everybody's going to be wired a little different and every week's going to be a little different. But by using this, I've been able to stay on track and actually sell as much as I need to, as well as stay in touch and on top of all my other stuff. And I'll kind of just scroll over to the side before we go to the next section. But as you can see on here, by doing this, I literally work from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day. And I will have throughout this week a 45-hour week. 20 hours of that is pure green time and selling. And 25 hours is maintenance, working up deals, emails, putting out fires, things like that. And this 25 hours actually does include a 1 hour lunch. So technically, I've got 20 hours of selling, 20 hours of maintenance, and 5 hours of lunch. Okay. A lot of times those lunches do turn into actual green time because maybe they're a lunch with a realtor or a referral partner, but that's just kind of your open space. And so what I wanted to do now is go into an example. So as you look at this, here's an example of a built out weekly calendar. So first thing in the morning at 8 a.m., I'm reviewing my calendar for the day, seeing what I got ahead of me, cleaning up some emails so you don't ever feel that anxiety that you got 50 unread messages or anything like that. And I'm really planning my day. And when I plan my day, I'm setting up all of the new clients that I'm going to speak to. I'm going to make a list and say, I'm going to call the Jones file, I'm going to call the Smith file, I'm going to call the Thomas file, and I'm setting up every single person that I need to talk to that day from an origination side of things. I'm also putting on my list any referral partners or prospects, prospective referral partners that I need to talk to as well. So I'm having a clear plan based on my calendar review. And then, from 9:30 to 10 a.m., we have our team meeting. Me and my teammates, we all sit down. I go over everything that we're going to do that day, all the files we have in process, who needs to do what. And that usually lasts at maximum 30 minutes. And from there, what I do is I go into calling all my realtors, seeing how the weekend was. Okay, and you look here, this includes target list. I'm not saying that you call every realtor every single Monday because that's just not realistic. but you don't ever want to lose touch with your partners. If you talk to an agent on Friday, no need to call them on Monday, right? But at the same time, if somebody's got a deal that might have offered over the weekend or might have gotten contract, that this is a perfect time to start touching base with them. And the other thing that I do in this hour is I try to go to lunch every Wednesday with a referral partner or a realtor. And in turn, this is a great opportunity to call and touch base with somebody you haven't seen in a while and say, hey, let's grab lunch on Wednesday. What does your calendar look like? Okay. As I go back through, I'm after that, because I've literally not been checking emails or doing anything but making calls. I circle back, get into my emails, solve any problems I need to. Then I catch lunch. I get back into it. Again, I'm making sure that we're on top of our pipeline. Everything that needs to be done is getting done, and that I'm not getting behind on emails. Even though I hate looking at emails because I think it takes away from really what makes you your money, and that's working with clients and working on scenarios, you still have to do it. Otherwise, you're going to be the most unresponsive lender out there. But starting at 2 o'clock, as you look at it, I start going into pure sales again. Okay. And so I'm doing lead follow up. I'm following up people that I've put into my buckets within my database of good deals that haven't actually moved forward, new applications that I need to get in touch with because we've spoken, but I haven't got their application. And that's going to be kind of in my lead management piece that I'll do later on. But I'm going into my pipeline and my database for an entire hour between 2 and 3. I'm also then at 3 o'clock. This is when I'm working on new applications, applications that my team has actually put in the system that I haven't looked at. I haven't checked on what their credit looks like. I haven't worked up any scenarios for them of what they're going to do with their new purchase, or do we do 5% down, or do we do 20% down, or any of that stuff. And I block this hour out to go through those, create those presentations, have those calls with those clients. And then from 4 to 4:30, and actually even to 5 some days, I do a coaching call with all of our branches. And we sit down and all of our originators and branches and all of a topic, and I've blocked that out because to me, that's helping somebody else originate. So that's still green time in my book. I've also thrown in here 2 handwritten note cards. Now, I'll be the first to say I'm not 100% with this, but in theory, this gives you guys an idea of something else you could do that is considered origination, because not everybody is going to be able to originate right out the gate for 4 hours in a day. So these are some little places that you can put in your own spin of what you do. I could also see this being manage my social media accounts for those 30 minutes, whether that be liking your clients' photos, whether that be throwing up some information for yourself. But it just gives you the sense of how to run this calendar as far as a day is concerned. And if we were to go into Tuesday, again, Tuesday I don't have a team meeting. My team does, but I'm not involved in it. And I'm starting my loan consultation appointments, right? Really, this is client meetings. Now, it doesn't always have to be in the office. This could purely be a phone call, but I've blocked this time out to sit down with at least one client that morning and go over their scenarios that we've reviewed and prepping them for their new home purchase. Again, back into the emails and solving problems. Then I go back into more client consultations or meetings with a new realtor. Then I go to lunch. Then I solve some more problems. And again, Tuesdays are my big day where I go over scenarios with clients. And I have meetings with new prospective agents, right? Mondays are usually busy with a lot of new business because of people looking at houses over the weekend. Tuesdays are a great day to sit down and discuss specifics with clients because you've had that application on Monday. And then again, solving some more problems. And I do a weekly network group with all of my realtor referral partners. And we meet on Tuesdays at 5 o'clock for a happy hour. We discuss business and we network. And so again, that is green time. Another example of something that isn't sitting at your desk looking at rates. It's not something where you're making outbound calls to follow up on clients, but it's still considered green time because this is something that generates revenues for you. And I'm not going to go through the entire week, but I've kind of broken this out how I've done it. As you can see here on a Thursday from 9 to noon. Thursday, I actually don't meet with clients in the morning. I've used that for my business building because a lot of times we get so caught up on loans, we forget to actually work on our business. We forget to put together new marketing pieces. We forget to take a look at our team structure as a whole. And I dedicate a couple hours on Thursdays to just kind of recap, review, implement, work on any new things that I have that I think can build my business and help it move forward. And then the last thing I want to share with you guys on what I've developed for my calendar and from a time management side of things is what it looks in real life. Okay. And so as you can see, starting on Wednesday here, this is literally what my calendar has becomes. So I've got loan consultation appointments. Now, these were probably conversations or emails that I got from Monday or Tuesday. When a client calls in and says, I want to go over my programs, I don't immediately say, yes, that's fine, let's do it right this second. I ask them if there is a time that would work on Wednesday between 10 and 11, or 1 to 2, or 2 to 3. And I literally schedule those meetings with clients. I don't do it impromptu. I don't just take the call right immediately. I say, here's my calendar of when I can meet with you to discuss programs. And I thought initially that would be bad. For a second, I thought, man, I'm going to lose clients. But what I found out is I actually got more clients. And the clients I got asked me less questions. And the reason I say that is if you take the impromptu call or you just send out some scenarios to a client and you're all excited because you're going to save them $400 on a refi, or they're just an easy purchase and you call them right then, odds are you're going to catch them at work, you're going to catch them in the car, they're out walking their dog, taking their kids to school, and next thing you know, they're kind of listening to you, but they're not really listening to you. And in turn, half the stuff that you go over, they're not going to even remember when it comes time to go to closing or get into contract. So by scheduling it out in advance, what we end up doing by scheduling it out in advance is making sure that our client, so in this case, George is in front of his computer, or George has his scenarios in front of him, and he and I can have a great conversation to review it. The other thing, when I did it with Robin, is I'm going over and really setting up a game plan. Her and I had already had our initial conversation. We're just kind of fine-tuning it and possibly locking. And at the end of that call, we decided to lock. So then I started getting the disclosures ready once she confirms the timing of it all. As I scroll back down, I'd set another client meeting for Doran at 1 o'clock. And then 2 o'clock, I'd had it set up for Mooney. And in the 2:30 range, it was to go over Kimmy's file. Okay, and so as you do this, and you can even look here, I set another meeting for 3 p.m. with Nick and Ed. Okay, so as you start going through this and scheduling your day out in the future, okay, you're going to be more efficient. You're going to be feeling very organized because when I walked in on Thursday, I could quickly look and know who I was talking to, right? I knew exactly when I was going to reach out, at what time. They knew it as well, so we weren't playing that phone tag game because they already had it on their calendar too. And in turn, you just become much more efficient. Friday's the same thing. And as soon as I get past the block, I literally just drag over and highlight it because that is officially done. As you start going through the rest of my calendar, you can see it right here. I've calendar out every single day. And sometimes you get to the end of the month and there's not as much on there because you haven't had a chance to take those applications yet or set that time. But what this does is it just gives you some consistency in your week.